it's a great place to work, right? You're surrounded by dedicated people who love what they do, and we're serving the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. You gotta love it. We're bringing brands to the province that we're proud of, we'd use personally, so it really makes us really happy to be able to share that throughout the province. I think what's unique is our connection to the province, to the people we serve, and where we live. At the end of the day, all the equipment we sell is meant to keep the province moving.
Well, I'm Alan Dale from Gale Force. What an absolute pleasure it is to be here. Beautiful Corner Brook, Newfoundland and Labrador. And of course, I'm here with municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador. This is their 75th event, and I want to tell you, the conversations are vibrant, they're real, they're passionate. These people really are making a difference. A big thank you to our friends at Harvey Co. for bringing the entire conversation alive. They understand that everybody's voice matters and that everybody should be heard. Thanks for doing that. And on this note, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Yeah, thanks for being here, Alan. So I'm Rob Nolan. I'm CEO at Municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador, and I lead the organization that runs this event that we're at. So we represent the 274 municipalities across the province. We're their association, and we do advocacy and programming for our members.
Now, Rob, you said they're members. You used it sort of a very clever way, which sort of falls completely in line with your website. When the first sort of tagline in your website is "Our People," when I say those words to you, what does that mean?
That's a good question. I think, our members are councillors and mayors, elected officials in their towns. But a big part of what we do in the municipal sector is voluntary. There's very few towns across the province that get paid. If they do get a stipend, they get a few $1,000s a year kind of thing. Many are entirely unpaid positions. So they're members of the community, and they're doing the work because they love their community. They want to create and sustain vibrant communities, and people are the foundation of those communities. So when we travel around, like we are here in Corner Brook, we're not only interacting with our members, but we're also interacting with the residents of the communities and seeing, what are issues like in those communities, and what do our local governments need, and what do they need to know about their residents to improve people's lives.
Rob, how does that make you feel when you interact with people like that, so giving of their time, so engaged in their community, so passionate? I mean, these are very special people that give so freely to support their community. It must feel amazing.
It does. Yeah, I think it's, it's cliche to say it's humbling or inspiring, but I think all those words are at play when we're here. You're right. It's people who are giving their time, their energy to their communities for, not much money or any money at all, for oftentimes not much thanks on a daily basis. You get a lot of feedback, but it's not always positive feedback. But I think when you have a long-term view of your community, it's easy to kind of go to work every day, and I feel incredibly privileged to be working with these leaders across the province, helping them to do their work.
Beautiful people from beautiful places. And on that note, if you look at your website, that second sort of thing that jumps off the page is our place. You use the word "our place." What does that mean to you?
People and place are integral to our communities. So, when you travel across the province, every community is both unique to itself, but has a lot to share across our beautiful province. So, we work with our communities to do placemaking projects. Look at the assets that they have on the ground in their communities. What are the natural assets? What are the heritage assets? What are the assets of people and skills that are there in community that make your place what it is? Make your community what it is when you think of the community that you're from, your hometown, or the community that you moved into. And how do we leverage those assets? So how do we leverage place to either recruit more residents, to recruit tourists, to recruit economic development into those communities? And when you put that lens of place on community, I think it really allows you to magnify those benefits.
I love it. Great explanation there. We find ourselves in an interesting time here in Newfoundland and Labrador. There's a lot of good things happening in this province. fresh government. So we have a new federal government with a fresh mandate. We have a new provincial government with a fresh mandate, and many new municipal governments with fresh mandates. On your website, you talk about our potential. I ask you to look at your potential through those lenses of all of these new fresh mandates.
Well, you're right. 3 elections this year in all orders of government, which gives a new, fresh runway for us. We are also entering our 75th anniversary year as an organization representing municipalities, and that's exactly the way I'm thinking about it. We're ending the first 75 years, and now we're looking toward the next 75 years. And what does that look like? We have challenges. We have climate change that's affecting all the communities in our province. We have an aging population. It's the oldest population in Canada. We have declining populations, particularly in our rural communities. But we do have great potential, as you mentioned. So there's industrial development happening and industrial development opportunities happening across the province. Tourism had a boon year this year, with less people perhaps going down south and more people going east and west. And I think Newfoundland and Labrador really benefited from that. We have an incredibly rich culture and an incredibly rich skill set in our communities. And again, back to place. What better asset do we have than the place that we have? So there's lots of potential there. And I think it's often that we as Newfoundlanders and Labradorians look at the challenges either that we face ahead of us or that we've faced in the past. You can get pessimistic or you can get down about that. But I think you're right. The word potential is perfect for that. We can look ahead and figure out, we as a province, what can we do together to, not just see that potential, but take advantage of the potential. Whether it is that industrial development, whether it's tourism, whether it's just building up your community in ways that will retain people or recruit new people. I think it's all really exciting to look forward.
Staying close to home, that new government just put in place here a few weeks ago. What would be your message to them from municipalities, Newfoundland and Labrador? What should they know about this incredible group of people?
I think, that's a good question. I think the main message that I would give is that municipal leaders know their communities best. And that's, MHAs also know their districts very well, and they know their communities very well, and they get into it because they love their communities too. But councillors, mayors, they're dealing with the nitty-gritty issues in the community day after day. So, things like infrastructure funding, it's not an overly sexy topic, but we have an infrastructure deficit right now, which means the necessary infrastructure to upgrade right now or in the next few years, many of our municipalities don't know where they're finding the funding or the resources to upgrade that and maintain that infrastructure. But our municipalities know what they need. They have asset management plans. They know, where the skeletons are, kind of situation. So my big ask, I think, going into conversations, and it has been my ask going into the conversation so far, is listen to the municipal councillors and mayors in your district and work with us. We are here as the Association for Municipalities to help other orders of government, whether it be the provincial government or federal government, understand what's going on in the municipal order of government. And we're here to be a resource.
Thanks for the conversation, but most importantly, thank you for your leadership. Everybody in this room needs guys like you behind the scenes, making sure there's a steady hand on the tiller. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
It's a great place to work, right? You're surrounded by dedicated people who love what they do, and we're serving the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. You gotta love it. We're bringing brands to the province that we're proud of, we'd use personally, so it really makes us really happy to be able to share that throughout the province. I think what's unique is our connection to the province, to the people we serve, and where we live. At the end of the day, all the equipment we sell is meant to keep the province moving.